570 miles north of Dutch Harbor. On the Northwestern.
Crab Fest is back at Red Lobster. When you can choose your crab and one of 3 new flavors like honey sriracha, this is not your grandpa's Crab Fest. Unless grandpa's got flavor. Damn! Crab Fest is here for a limited time. Welcome to fun dining.
You're not eating lobster. Is there a reason why you're not eating lobster?
And I was like, I thought I'd order what I want. I wasn't really in the mood for bug meat.
That's pretty good. That's some big pots.
Oh my God. I'm counting it.
Canceled this year after billions of crabs disappeared, devastating Alaska's commercial fishing industry and the livelihoods of those who depend on it.
No! There's way too many!
I want to talk about the end of Deadliest catch. The reality is, it's the end of a lot of things in the ocean.
And you guys, all of New England, you guys love your seafood, and it's just disgusting.
There we go. Woo! We could just do that steady for 100 pots.
The snow crab population crashed in Alaska, but why? More than 10 billion snow crabs disappeared in 2022, devastating a commercial fishing industry worth $200 million the year before. Now, researchers are working to figure out what happened, and they think warmer ocean water could be to blame.
Get your family talking with Joe's Fire Grilled Snow Crab. Delicious snow crab with a hot off the grill flavor.
Because that's what shellfish are. They're just creepy, crawly, giant insects on the bottom of the ocean. You know, fish are swimming around like, we gotta get an exterminator up in this piece. They're bugs!
There we go!
Crab! That's gonna work. That's what we're looking for right there.
Everybody loves this show. I sure did. I actually boycotted seafood because I could see this coming. But it looks like it's finally here.
I want them all like that.
Had 5 last night. Me, I ate 7.
I had to stop at 4.
How many crab legs did I eat? They were so good I lost count.
At Red Lobster, for a limited time, you get all the crab legs you can eat, plus coleslaw, hush puppies, and potato for only $4.99. She ate 4.
He ate 5.
6. You may be surprised how many crab legs you eat.
Red Lobster is where America goes for seafood.
This is a defining moment.
Yeah, buddy!
They have a shell like a bug. They have spindly legs and crawl around like a bug. They have antennae like a monster.
630!
630? That's good.
Things are steaming up at Joe's with the new smoking hot steam pots, like the Ragin' Cajun, the Low Country Shrimp Boil, and the Beer Boil Steam Pot filled with snow crab, lobster claws, clams, and more. Hot.
The snow crab population in the Bering Sea off the western coast of Alaska has fluctuated for decades. An increase in young crabs back in 2018 led to optimism that fishing would rebound. But the hope was short-lived.
It was just very poor fishing. We searched for miles and miles and miles and really didn't see anything.
Now at Joe's, garlic and good crab and fries for $14.99. Worth every bit of garlic breath. Get a taste of it this summer at Joe's Grab Shack.
That is awesome. We needed that.
I'm doing the snow. I'm doing the Dungeness. I'm doing the king.
I'm doing all 3.
Have it all this summer at Joe's with the Crab Daddy Feast. 3 kinds of crab, one great time.
Can we get out of here now?
Yep.
They're probably monsters. Like, if you went home and you saw a chicken in your house, you'd be like, what the hell is a chicken doing in my house? But if you saw a lobster, you'd be like, we're moving.
Oh my God. I'm counting it. Woo! Go! There's way too many.
Crab Shack, we've gone crab crazy. Run into Joe's Crab Shack for our awesome mouth-watering snow crab dinner for only $9.99. That's right, a pound of hot steaming snow crab with sides, all for just $9.99. Get them any way you like them, barbecue, garlic, or steam. A full pound. Ooh-wee, it's good stuff. So what are you waiting for? Get to Joe's Crab Shack now for a pound of snow crab for just $9.99.
You gotta go eat at Joe's.
So in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, if I lay these back through, are they going to still be here? That's the negative to a psychopath's mind right there.
The reality is, it's happening in Texas as well. It's happening in Florida. And each one of these things is chopped up to, seemingly unrelated items.
Yeah, Raj, we'll get it ready.
Captain Sig stands his ground, even when ice flow rumors become ice-cold facts.
No, I understand everyone loves lobster. I love lobster. Hey, I like butter too, okay?
Every few hours, this game is changing.
How can I eat 3 sticks of butter? Well, I found this giant swimming sea scorpion.
Aboard the Northwestern.
So we've got 60 pots up in this area right now.
Of global climate change. It's because of pollution. And it's because we have wildly overfished our oceans for years.
On his hottest Opelio numbers of the season, Captain Sig fishes amongst the floes, getting in one last score before the solid pack ice catches him with his pots down.
Gabriel Prout and his family own the Silver Spray in Kodiak, Alaska. He says it was obvious something was wrong the last few years. The Bering Sea fishing grounds are usually covered in sea ice in the winter, but there wasn't much ice, and they fished further north than usual.
It's just a spoonful of butter helps the bug meat go down. In the most delightful way.
Oh. It's huge.
Finding snow crabs was still difficult. The lack of sea ice was a red flag for scientists like Aaron Fedewa, who was studying the conditions in the Bering Sea that led to the mass die-off.
That was an immediate potential smoking gun when we saw this Arctic species suddenly in decline.
Lobster tail? Is that the area near the butt?
I haven't really had to deal with ice packs since I've been here, but I've heard stories and this and that.
That's what I want, a little turf and bug butt. Nom, 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 nom. How about those restaurants where you have to pick out your own lobster? You're like, I guess I'll take that one that's really struggling with the rubber bands.
Coming up.
Over the 20 years of this show, it went from fishermen could have a free-for-all. It was a race. They'd open up the thing and they would head out there. Who can get the most? Which seemed mighty unsustainable.
On a one-way track to wrapping his winter season, Captain Keith banks $1.7 million, snagging each deckhand 87,000 big ones.
Oh man, that's beautiful, dude.
He seems appealing. Why don't we boil him to death?
To bring in a cool $630,000, netting his crew $70,000 per man.
Whole damn game
it's gonna get shut down.
Why am I involved in this decision?
And then they went to limits. You could only get this amount, a quota. Ultimately, it seemed unsustainable.
They can hate me later. Hate me now. I don't care.
A couple years ago, they bounced back.
But the Northeast, it's all shellfish. Maryland with the crab. Isn't it kind of a red flag you need a hammer to eat a crab? Oh, you're having the crab? Let me get you some tools.
It wasn't sustainable.
With Mandy's pot on the mother load,
Okay, last one coming up.
Captain Sig puts another season to bed.
So you can crack open that bug shell and get that half a bite of bug meat.
Now they're gone. They're gone.
We got 4 pops left. Going home. I'm getting crab in every one of them. Woo! No, that's awesome, man.
We're putting crab on board. Crab, it's too much work. They're like the pistachio of seafood. And there's that nasty part of the crab you're not supposed to eat. I think it's called all of it.
Because sea ice is an important ingredient in the snow crab's life cycle. In the winter, it accumulates on the water's surface. And during the summer, the ice melts, sending cold, dense water sinking to the ocean floor, where it hovers just above freezing at around 35 degrees. Scientists call it the cold pool. And it's a sanctuary for young crabs. Warmer temperatures can lead to starvation and higher rates of disease. At the Kodiak Fisheries Research Center, state and federal researchers are piecing together how all those factors contributed to the crab's collapse.
Because they're crabs, as in the sexually transmitted disease? That has the same name because it's the exact same thing!
Over 49 days on the water, Jonathan caught 160,000 pounds of Opilio crab, worth $1.3 million, doling out $60,000 per deckhand.
There's not going to be a snow crab season anymore. That's over. Man, a couple years, we'll get to fish a few. It will never be the same. And if they allow them to start fishing again in the next 10 years, we'll wipe them out completely.
They're just the baby version of the dinner crab. You know, God's up in heaven going, what do I gotta do to stop them from eating the crabs?
I just dropped off 62,500 pounds. I had a total dead loss of 2,041 pounds, which is mild compared to what it could have been.
I gave it a rock-hard shell. I put it on the bottom of the ocean. I named a disease after it. Jesus, you're gonna have to go back down there.
Tanks filled with seawater pumped in from the bay replicate conditions on the seafloor.
And then we can hold different portions of the same population in, say, 5 degrees Celsius, 8 degrees Celsius, and we can begin to look at the response of those species once they're in these warmer temperatures.
I don't even know how people order crabs with a straight face. Yeah, my wife and I. You know what? I'll get crabs and I'll give her some.
The oceans are warmer. It's just a reality.
Don't tell her I want it to be a surprise. Even the crab as a creature is creepy. It always looks like it's trying to avoid an awkward situation.
Different temperature and pH levels affect the crab's development, how fast they grow, and how quickly they die. In a separate, smaller tank, researchers hook up monitoring equipment to individual crabs and track their breathing in different conditions. They also take blood samples.
We know that increases in temperature increase metabolic rates of fish and crab, causing them to need to eat more and more.
Is that, oh, I owe that guy money, crap.
On the Northwestern,
there was a time when you went to the Antarctic, your boat got locked in ice. Last year, they finally found that boat. It's nowhere near ice.
And Opilio, Jake totaled out at 1.4 million greenbacks, stuffing his crew's pockets with 74 grand.
Clams and oysters? How do we even start eating those? Hey, I found a rock with a snot in it.
In a shrinking cold pool, that means more crabs pushed into a smaller space, fighting for less food.
thinking of eating it. Go ahead. All right. What's it taste like? Pneumonia!
Shackleton would be damn surprised to find out that his boat even exists.
Oysters on the half shell, as opposed to what? In a Kleenex? Even the way you're supposed to eat an oyster, squeeze some lemon, a little hot sauce, throw it down the back of your throat, take a shot of vodka, and try and forget you to snuff Marat.
Daly and his team have been tagging crabs in the wild with satellite transponders that will track their movement over time. He's hoping the tags provide more detailed information about the distribution of crabs across the cold pool.
Oysters are an aphrodisiac? Why would we ever believe that? What do you say, you and I grab some snots from Iraq? See what happens. Maybe we'll end up at my place. Maybe we'll end up at the emergency room.
So goodbye, Deadliest catch. Or perhaps that was always the perfect name. Because we just had a show for 20 years cataloging the elimination of a species.
Nice job, well done.
Thank you.
Gotta get it on film. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Stop the pollution.
And like most Chinatowns, a lot of the restaurants in Chinatown have live seafood tanks in the windows. And I'm always like, do you want us to come in there, or are these sea monsters protecting your establishment?
Nice and they can end it on a happy note.
Scientists say it will likely take years before the snow crab population rebuilds. If another marine heat wave hits the Bering Sea, it could be even longer.